together. So we've been all over the national news.
Slow news day, that a busing situation for a school district.
I think so. I agree. I agree. So we've been all over. All right, so we can go ahead and get started. And like I'm gonna got it. Gonna add my purples and my pinks. Well, all of my colors. I think I'm gonna start with that mint green, the teal mint. I really don't have a lot of it. Hopefully I can get enough out to make a difference on my canvas. And it's totally coagulated. You guys see that big chunk? Don't you just hate it when that happens?
I don't have a minty green. Can I use like a apple green?
You can use, like I said, yeah, you're choosing your colors and whatever works for you, whatever you like for your background.
Okay.
I've got a turquoise, so I'm going with that.
Okay. So.
Oh, turquoise might. I think I got a turquoise too, now that I think about it.
And there's no rhyme or method or, and you can kind of put it where you want it. You guys, welcome. I'm Juanita. I'm a Purposeful Point, and I teach paint parties. And today and I teach art. Today we're painting. You can see the hibiscus flower, kind of doing an abstract thing because that's my jam. So we're going to paint the background, and I'm going to use my colors today are mint teal. I have a purple color and a pink color. But again, I always encourage painters to use whatever works best for you. You see what the results are and you think about what you want yours to look like and you choose those colors. I'm painting my background first. I am using an 8x10 canvas board. You're welcome to use whatever you choose that works best for you. So, and when I first start, I always like to kind of wet my brush, and then take it and dab it on a piece of paper towel. Oh, I'm grabbing a paper towel, but I dab it just to get rid of excess water. I don't dry it off, just dab it because I want to make sure that there's enough fluid in the brush to spread the paint the way I want it to. Okay. So that's what I did with that. And right now it looks kind of diagonal that I painted it. You can see it doesn't matter. We are going to put that down. Then I'm going to switch colors because like I said, I'm using the pink and the purples. And we're going to use a sponge as well. So I didn't even really wash my brush out because the colors we're going to mix and blend and all that good stuff. Cord. My battery is low. I'll make sure to plug up my device. Adding that paint in there. Now, really, I talked about using the sponge, and that's an option, or a paper towel. I actually used a paper towel for the original painting. Wow, my pink is a little bit thicker than my purple. So this brand is called, it says Mondo Llama acrylic paint. It says multi-service, non-toxic. This is something that my boys got for me for Mother's Day from Target. It's water-based. It's for wood, glass, ceramic. So just if you have questions, like a lot of times people want to know where you got your paints, and I don't even know, couldn't tell you what the Okay, this is Frosted Donut. That's the name of this pink. So, and again, I didn't rinse my brush out.
Sounds yummy.
It does. And the purple is it says Showy Orchid.
Hmm.
So a little different. So I got my surfaces covered. You guys can definitely work at your pace. I have I'm gonna grab, I have a sponge, but it is I usually cut them up. I'm just gonna use a paper towel. Just like that, no particular way. And then I start dabbing my paint. So it takes some off. And as I go across, it takes some off the canvas and then puts it on other areas. Can you see where it's overlapping?
Ronita, if we use a sponge, are we supposed to wet it or a dry sponge?
Dry sponge, dry. Okay, somebody's having fun on the group meet today. So, I mean, you're taking paint off, so it might be a lot on your paper towel, but again, it's also adding it back on, and you can see that it kind of, I love the look that it gives on top of the other colors. So mostly the purple, and I want to add a little more purple because my, I like the purple more. And I just want some on top of that. That green kind of dominated. And then plus I still have plenty of paint on my canvas as well. And I have it separated as far as in sections, but you are definitely welcome to add some in different areas. It doesn't have to be uniform like that. Okay, and then I put that paint on there. I'm gonna dab again. And the great thing about this way and the dabbing and the paint, it takes the paint off and kind of moves it someplace else, but it actually it dries the painting a lot faster. So as we move on to the next step, it's definitely a little drier. But since we are using black on top of the color, it wouldn't matter if it was still wet or not. So can you guys see the texture that paper towel gives it? I love it. I love that texture. And again, there's no method. This is also relaxing. There's no method on how you dab. I will dab in the purple a little bit and then maybe dab on the green just to kind of bring the purple on top of it. It gives it a kind of iridescent look and feel. So I like that. How's that background look? I know, like, I'm only on an 8x10, so I'm giving you guys a few more minutes because I know your surface might be larger. Because normally we do, I usually have 11 by, I'm painting on 11 by 14s, but with this technique, and the amount of paint you kind of considered wasting when you take it off with a paper towel, I decided to go a little bit smaller so that I'm not there with the wasteful or so of the paint, wasting the paint. And it's not wasting, we are creating art. But you know, the what do you call someone who's really the frugal Frida in me prevents me. It makes me want to conserve paint. All right, so as you finish that, you can go ahead and grab your black and white paint. And Suzanne is logging in. I don't know where the fly comes from, but inevitably, if there's one in the house, they always come here just in time for me to paint.
I've been fighting one all afternoon too. My
Hi,
electric,
hon, what colors do I need?
Hi, I am using, you can use your colors if you like, but I'm using pink, purple, and like a mint green. And so I painted it on the canvas, and then I used
Is this
paper.
like a mint green?
That's close. Yes, that's close to what we're using. And
Okay,
some people use turquoise because they didn't have the mint green. But
Okay.
again, you guys, yeah, choose
All
it
right.
what for you. Now, after I painted those colors on my background, you can use a sponge or a paper towel. I use a paper towel, but you can also use a sponge to just dab over top of all of it, just to kind of mix and blend and give it a textured background. I love the textured
That's
background.
good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my, of course, I'm using the flat brushes. I didn't mention that before, but I usually use my largest flat brush to paint my background. And now we are going to paint the petals for the hibiscus. So I do have 5 petals for my hibiscus, so that when you're placing them, now I had this middle get a little bit, it's a little bit long. I think people didn't really know what it was because I made that one too long. So I'll probably do a little bit shorter, but when you're adding your hibiscus flowers, you're gonna make sure you leave enough space to get 5 petals in there. And if it's 4, that's fine too. Down here, I only put 4. That's all the space that I could get in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip this brush. I'm looking at it, I'm not sure how big of a flat brush that I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna, you guys watch me do this first one so you can have an idea of how to make the petals, what I did to make the petals.
Okay.
You guys see that? And I mean, I used my flat brush, but if it works better for you, you can go ahead and use your liner brushes to make the shape. to make those shapes. And then come back and paint them all in. And this is a very abstract painting, so don't worry about the shapes, how shapely they are, if they're a perfect shape or if they match or anything like that, because this is abstract, guys. Give yourself grace and relax. Go with the flow. And again, even if you don't leave room for 5 petals. Okay, so whoever's speaking, you broke up. Is that Jacqueline? Now you muted yourself.
I would say thanks for the grace period, because mine is looking wonky and wonky.
Yes, give yourself grace. And see, like mines are kind of spread out. So I'm going to bring that one in a little bit. So you can see how big I made that. It looks about a little bit too big, but I'm going to go ahead and stick that 5th one in there. And as you can see, they don't match. And I'm bringing them in a little bit. Like I said, mine's kind of separated. So it's as simple as that. I just brought them in the middle in a little bit closer. And then after I get the outline, I'm just going to fill them all in. We just made a super, and I mean, this technique of the background that we use, you can use that with anything and just kind of add a silhouette of something that you like. Some of the flowers that we painted before that I've kind of talked you through, you can go ahead, because we've done the silhouettes before. I can't recall which flower or what we put in the center, but just anything to, and just give it some, and I think we did a tulip. We did a really fun abstract background and we put a tulip on it, but the tulip, I didn't fill it in. So you can see the tulip, but it was still open so that you could see more of the background. Okay, so I like it. It looks wonky, which is perfect. I like the abstract look.
Try to swat the fly and I end up with dog fur everywhere.
And that's why I'm afraid of, as soon as I start at that fly, something will happen. I have a paintbrush in my hand and I'll paint my screen or paint something.
Go away, fly. Right over my head. Ginger, catch the fly.
See, one of them's kind of short over there, but there. And I did that middle. I'm not going to make it as long as I did before, but bring that out. You guys can see it looks like a tongue, but a really thin tongue. But I did leave space in between and just took a thin line and brought that out. And like I had enough space over here. I probably could have brought it out there as well. So now I'm gonna I'm not gonna fill up the page, but I want more on here, balance, whichever I kind of title it. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with those, but the petals are gonna be just a little bit smaller. On a smaller scale, they get even more wonkier. So keep that in mind. And then this one is only going to have 4 because I probably need to use a smaller brush, but I am probably not going to do that. Just kind of trying to think of what shape would this be considered, these petals. And I always think of a C when I do my petals because that's the way I move my brush, is a C, but just kind of made it kind of wider. And then bring it in a little bit. And then I'm gonna, again, grab my bring that one, bring that out. There. Now I want to put another one. And again, if you look, mines are not even at all. And I'm okay with the petals being even. Again, it's abstract, so I like to work with it a little bit. Okay, so this next one, the same concept. Make a big C. Big C. Big C. I need more paint for that C. Okay, see that? Just big C's. A big C. And then I have my second one. And fill in the C a little bit. Close the gap. But if I don't close the gap and leave it that big, it still looks good. Now I'm going to have to get in there and draw that stem in the middle. Got a little bit longer on that one. Thought that was neat. I'm gonna let that dry. I don't have a lot. Well, my big flower, it's pretty much dry, but the smaller ones, there are some areas that I got a little bit heavy with the paint. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth it out a little bit. That'll help my paint dry faster. Because you know how when you're adding it to your canvas, it might be like a little thicker in some areas. So right now I'm just kind of thinning out those thicker sections so that when I come back in with my white, it'll be dry. I'm not gonna be able to get all of them, but be able to get most of it. Okay.
Oh, go downstairs. Go downstairs.
I just realized something. Is that thing that we're painting like a tail, is that supposed to be the center of the hibiscus? Or
Right.
that's a stem? Oh, I made it look like a stem. Okay. I
That's
was wondering
fine.
why you were putting it in the center, but now
Well, when you see them, even the abstract ones, they have that little something
Yes.
coming out of it. So that
we
was
have hibiscus in the backyard, so I know what they.
well, even if you made it look like a stem, after we add a little extra, hopefully it would have like changed it a little bit, made it look like some, I guess because I have it at the bottom, it kind of looks like a stem. But I did do a couple of them from the top. Well, one of them from the top, actually. It just depends on where the space in between that I had the most space, and that's when I chose to do it that way.
I got it now.
Okay, so I'm grabbing my brush, you can, again, if you want to go with the pointer brush, you can, but I just love my flat brushes. I just switched to a brush that had that was thinner, because when I do it, I just turn the brush instead of painting flat that way, I turn it diagonal. Is that right? Horizontally. Horizontally, and I use that it gives me a great tip. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you wanted to go to your pointer brush, you can do it that way. So this, now I'm kind of doing highlights, although it's an abstract feel. I'm giving it some depth by adding the or just really just making it whimsical. So I'm not going to say that it gives it depth to do that, since it's a flat black painting. So I'm just going to choose just one side of the petal. I'm going to follow along the edge of the petal. I'm not going to be on the edge, but my shape is going to be the shape of the edge, but I'm not going to be on the edge of the petal. You guys just see that? Just a white line that I painted there. And it just makes it a fun painting. It's fun after you add that. And that's what I'm going to do. And I am adding it only to one side, but you can experiment and add it to both sides to see how that works, if that works better for you. But for me right now, I'm going to add the one side. Oh, guys, I didn't tell you yesterday. I have a son that was going off to college. Well, he's gone.
Oh, wow.
He's gone. We dropped him off yesterday.
Mixed emotions, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely mixed emotions, because it's not like, he's been hanging out, spending the night with his roommate here in town. So it's, it's not like it's the first time that he's been away and stuff, but it's just different. And it's a big school, so it had appointments, and he had appointment time. Then they had traffic. They had the security and the police directing traffic, close off roads just so that, they can funnel people a certain way. I didn't realize when I was in college, there was none of that. You just pulled up at the dorm, you unpacked. There was no go park here. It's a huge stadium. I mean, it's University of Kentucky. It's huge. It's a large school. They said, hey, drop your kids off, and then you go park over in the parking lot far away, and they'll have a shuttle to go get you. So that's what they were doing. And so they had these big, huge bins that with wheels on them, and they dump everything in it, and you wheel it on into the dorm room. So we got up there, and like his roommate, they had the same appointment time. So him and his parents were there. One of his cousins was there. And then also one of their mutual friends, he drove up as well. So it's me, my husband, and my two boys. And then the roommate, they have a suite mate, the guy they share the bathroom with next door. He was there. So we just had a room full, everybody just trying to put everything together. I was making the beds. They were, my son's number one focus was getting his game hooked up.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, right. Just all the activities, just, and so, and my husband, he just sat in a chair.
That's typical.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to do anything and then my youngest one, my 14-year-old, he went up there, and he just jumped into action. He hooked this up, put this together. Here, move, Jace. He tells his older brother, move, let me do it. And just all over the place, just taking care of anything electronic hooked up, and anything that need to be put together, all of that stuff. So he was doing that. And then the parents, they said, well, we're going to go to the store and get some snacks. And I really didn't want to do that. My son said he didn't let me buy any. He's going to get someone who gets there. And so they had to jump on a shuttle to get to their car. And of course, my husband, he broke the rules. We didn't park in that stadium. We just parked in a garage right across the street from the dorm room. So he walked over to the car to put something in the car. And then because my son, he has these antique swords, big swords. And they're all rusted and whatever, but he took them to school. And I was,
Oh, That's,
I'm
yeah.
taking these home with me. I'm taking these home. So my husband went and put them in the car. When he came back, by the time he came back, they all jumped on a shuttle to go to the car to go eat. And then I'm standing there. I was like, wow, I didn't even get to say bye. So, which was probably a good thing because yesterday morning, while they was loading the car, I was hugging on him and getting kind of emotional.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it was a good,
How far is it from your house?
an hour and 15 minutes.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. He's not far. And so,
Just far enough away.
yes,
Can't visit every day, but not too far if you just he needs something, you need something.
right. So,
Is that your first one going away?
yes.
That's hard.
I'm just kind of discombobulated. How should I feel? What should I be doing? I mean, it's not that I would be doing anything different right now today if he wasn't gone,
Mhm.
but it just feels odd.
There's just a different quiet in the house.
It is, you're right. There's only one here, and he wanted to my oldest one, the room is bigger. So the youngest one, my husband was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move you into the big room and I'm gonna take over my office in the smaller room. And I had already decided, and I've even discussed it with my younger one that that's not what was gonna happen. But so he came home from the thing and he's like, yeah, he's getting ready to move in. I was like, Kaden, you're not moving in that room. And I told my husband, my husband needs an office because right now he's at the table. And I was like, we'll just, move some furniture out of my son's room and you'll have that corner and he'll still have some place to come home to and still have his space and not share a room. So, and my husband's like, okay, Kaden, sorry, dude, you're not going to get that bigger room. He's like, oh man, I was like, I already discussed this with you. What did you think was going to happen? I'm the queen. I didn't say that, but I was like, good and well who's the queen has the last say. So, but he is up there and he's moving he wanted his brother's desk. He's already moved the desk and his desk is, he's in there and he never cleans his room. Why is he in there sprucing up, doing stuff, whatever? And because of the bus situation, he's got plenty of time to do it.
Well, that's good. Take advantage.
Yes. So guys, also you can see where I have done the dots. I'm going to go ahead and put those in there as well. I'm going to you guys know I just used the butt of my brush and I'm going to dip it in my white paint. And usually like this, you get 3 good dots and that are like solid. So that's what I'm going to try to do. 1, 2, and 3. Now you can see there's not no particular, well, it looks like it's in order, but that wasn't my intention to do particular order, just 1, 2, 3 in the same vicinity of the petal. Okay. Oh, and he's already called me today. So yesterday, and I dropped off yesterday, and I've already talked to him today.
My baby son eloped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not a baby. He's all grown up, but he's my baby.
Right.
But I mean, he was engaged, and we were going to have a wedding in January, but they decided they didn't want to wait, so they flew to Colorado, where you can get married without a officiant. You just need a witness.
Wow.
And they got.
That sounds like it saved you a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, they're still going to have a party, but
Oh,
have the party later, but now all the stress is gone.
Yeah, my older son did the same thing a few years ago, so he had a role model.
He told him what to do. Okay, and so in my middle, I did put a little bit in there as well. I didn't want to, and it's optional, it looks okay without it, but I felt the need to put a little bit in there. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna go with well, it's not a pointer brush, but I would suggest that to get a couple lines in there, just to break it up. And really because of that white in the background, I don't know if it's standing out very much, but. Oh, and I forgot, like I did put, you can see here, put a couple of dots around that inner part, and I used black for that. So we can try that. For the tail. And that's kind of neat. Okay, not too bad. And there's our hibiscus flower.
Hey,
Well, they're a little bit closer on this one than it is that one, but again, that comes from me painting from the side.
Mhm. That's what I did.
Eva,
Yep,
I'm coming.
it's okay.
Replace, there it is. All right, gorgeous. How do you feel about that background, that texture
I
background?
love the background. I'm not so pleased with my flowers, but
that was
love the
fun. I'm gonna do
background.
that again.
I gotta figure out how to get this light to give me light without making me white. Like blinded light. Washed out color. Let's see. Not any better? There we go.
That's nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, in that middle, is that turquoise?
I kind of used turquoise, but then I mixed a titch of green with it because
Okay.
it was a little too blue.
Mm-hmm.
So I just dropped a drop or two of green in the middle of it, and my pink was red and white because I didn't have any pink.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah, definitely. Any color is fun. I'm going to go ahead and log out of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube guys. If you have any questions, comments, please put them in the comment section and I'll get back with you. And I would love for you to send me a